Welcome to Upticks. I'm Jake Falcon, the founder of Falcon Wealth Advisors and your host of Upticks. Today is episode 164, Buying a Second Home. Thank you for joining me back on the show. I hope all of you out there are staying safe and healthy during this horrible pandemic. As you can see, fall is in full swing here in Kansas City. I'm recording this at around 7:30 in the morning, and it's still pretty dark outside, although I think it's cloudy more than dark. Anyways, like I said, I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. The temperatures are starting to cool off, and this is awesome golf season. So if you are a golfer, I hope you're getting out there and getting to play a few rounds here before it gets too cold. For today's topic, I wanted to talk about buying a second home. It feels to me that many of our clients are now exploring that option, and many of our clients actually already have a second home, and maybe they're even considering a third home, or just want to talk about their second home in our reviews. And so I thought it'd be a really good topic for today's show. So I want to give you 3 things to consider before buying that second home. So number one, and this may be obvious, but I want to talk a little bit deeper, but I want to understand your purpose behind buying a second home. Because I think some people maybe hear something on the internet or watch something on YouTube or have a neighbor or a friend that talk about all this money that they're making from renting out their second home. And that can all be fine and dandy, and certainly that can happen. But if you go into buying a second home and you're thinking of it as an investment, I want to caution you because, you hear about all of these great stories, but for every great story, there's also people that lose a lot of money trying to use a second home as an investment. So I would encourage you, if you're going to do that, I want you to treat it like you would any other investment, right? So you want to consider mocking up a business plan, and you want to be comfortable knowing, okay, if I'm going to buy a house, what am I going to sell it for? And when am I going to sell it? How much rental income am I going to need? How am I going to finance that purchase? Am I going to pay cash? Am I going to get a mortgage? What does that look like? What does the annual upkeep look like? What about taxes? What about insurance? So there's all these things that go into, as many of you know, of owning a home. None of that goes away with owning a second home, right? So everything that you have with your primary residence, upkeep, the yard, windows, the roof, HVAC, all of that stuff, insurance, taxes, all of that's going to be doubled up when you own a second home. And you think if you think it's as simple as buying the home, renting it out on Airbnb or VRBO or whatever platform you want to use, it's not. Again, and they collect fees, right? Or if it's going to be far away, do you have to hire a management company, someone to make sure that it didn't get broken into, or that a water line didn't break, or if it's somewhere cold that it a deep freeze didn't hurt things. So again, these are all things you need to consider. And I'm not trying to talk you out of owning a second home. I want you to think about your purpose. And if it's going to be used as an investment property, you need to drill down and put pencil to paper, or work with your team at Falcon Wealth Advisors, and we can help you put pencil to paper to see how much rent do you need to make to justify the second home. And is it truly going to be a wash, or are you going to make money on it or not? Right. And you want to weigh those risks. Now, the secondary purpose may be like, you just say, Jake, no, I just want a lake house. I want somewhere that I can go and get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, and have somewhere where I can just be at peace with my thoughts or with nature, or get a boat and fish, or whatever it is that you want to do. If it's on a lake or a golf community, whatever it is, that's completely fine as well. That is a little bit easier, in my opinion, because then you don't have this pressure of making unemotional investment decisions as it relates to this property. It really is as simple as plugging it into your financial plan and making sure your financial plan works. So that's obviously number one, but purpose, be an adult about it, think about it, say, am I using this second property as a place to make memories and spend time with my friends and family? And can I afford that? Or am I trying to make money off this? And what is it really going to take to make money? And can I, on the investments piece, can I most importantly detach from it and recognize there may come a point where I need to sell it and walk away? Or if I get an offer, that's really good, I need to make money on this thing, or I need to have it rented out. You need to weigh all those things as you would any other investment. You want to take the emotion out of it. All right, so that's number one, very, very important tip, is that you want to understand what is the purpose of having the second home. Okay, before I go into number 2 and 3, quick plug, quick commercial. Thank you so much for everyone that has subscribed to Upticks. If you haven't already done so, please feel free. That's the best way to make sure you don't miss another episode. So you can find Upticks right here on our YouTube channel, Falcon Wealth Advisors Collective. And if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, please feel free to subscribe and give me a thumbs up or a 5-star ranking if you think it's worthy. Also, my business partner, Corey Bittner, he has his own show called In the Money Insight. You can find it right here on this same YouTube platform. And then he has his own podcast channel as well. So thank you so much for everyone that's listening, that's watching, that's digesting our content. We really enjoy it. And I love getting feedback from you all. Okay, so number 2. So again, number 1 is more about the feeling and the intention. Number 2 may be obvious coming from a wealth advisor, is that I'm going to want to plug it into your financial plan, right? We got to plug it in there, and we got to make sure that your long-term core goals aren't negatively impacted by this second purchase, right? And then we can also take a look at, does it make sense to pay cash for it? Does it make sense to try to get a mortgage? Does it make sense to put 20% down, 30% down, 10% down, right? Do you want to pay taxes out of pocket, or do you want to build that into the mortgage, right? Or are you going to use it as an investment? What do all those costs look like? It's very, very easy for us to plug that into your financial plan. And actually, with our new planning software that we're using for our clients, we can actually see that direct impact real time and show you what it's going to do to your core goals, right? Your core goal would be retirement, right? Sustaining your lifestyle. So let's layer it on top and see what it does. For many of our clients, it plays very little impact, right? Which is a good thing. Or if you plan to buy it now and sell it in 20 years, we can mock that up as well. And we can tell you exactly what you need to be able to sell that property for in order not to disrupt your plan, right? So it's very simple. Certainly just reach out to me and my team. We could schedule a time to meet via Zoom or in person if you feel comfortable and you're vaccinated. And we can crunch those numbers and look at the finances behind having a second property, right? Very easy to do for us, and something that we definitely want to be involved with our clients. Okay, another quick commercial. If we're not already connected on social media, please feel free to do so. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. My practice, Falcon Wealth Advisors, is on the same 4 platforms. Okay, good. So if you're ready for my number 3 tip, this is probably the most important one, especially for the retirees, is that you want to plan this. So if you're on the cusp of retiring and you need to get a mortgage, you're going to want to plan this typically before you retire. Believe it or not, you could have millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you can't get a mortgage. It's crazy that's the way that world works, but they want to see your debt to income ratio. And if you're no longer employed and you're not pulling money from an IRA, on paper, you have no income, even though you may be pulling it from a brokerage account or some other means, or your income may be quite a bit lower than when you were making your salary at your current position. So if you need to get lending or financing, it's very critical that you consider doing that before you retire versus waiting to retire to do it, because it's a lot easier typically to get financing for it. It's again, if you want to go that lending route. There are also other means of borrowing money that we can certainly drill down and go through that. So you don't necessarily have to use a traditional mortgage. There's other lending opportunities out there that we discuss with our clients. And again, without just throwing out advice here, again, it'd be a one-on-one conversation. But the important thing to do is that if you're going to buy a second home and you're getting ready to retire, I highly encourage you to explore mortgages before you retire, not when you retire. Not that you can't get it. I've got retirees all the time that qualify for mortgages and get them. It's just a little bit trickier. And if it's something that you can avoid and get done easier, why not do that and make it easy on yourself? Okay, good. So hopefully those are 3 tips for you today. Number 1, again, explore your purpose. Be real with yourself and check in on, why am I buying this? And again, is it going to be used for somewhere to make memories or an investment property? And don't fool yourself. It's very hard to make money in real estate, particularly now with all of these prices of homes inflated. I don't know this, but I feel like you'd be buying the house probably at the top of the market. So if you think it's going to just continue to shoot up, that might be something tough, or might be something you're going to have to wait many, many, many years to realize. Number two, work with your friends at Falcon Wealth Advisors. We're happy to do it. We're open for business and we're happy to crunch the numbers and help you determine financially, does this second home make sense? And what does it do to your core goals? And then three, if you're looking at getting some sort of financing, I highly encourage you to do that before you retire, not after you retire. Okay, so that's all the time that I do have for you today. Like I said, I hope all of you out there are staying safe and healthy. As far as fun topics, more of the same at the Falcon household. Rachel and I are excited in November. We're going to go down to Mexico. One of Rachel's good friends from high school is having a destination wedding. And selfishly, they're golfers, actually. The husband and wife are big golfers. And so they're doing it near a really, really amazing golf course. So I'm super pumped about that. Selfishly, it's a win-win. Rachel gets to be there to support her friend and her wedding, and I get to play some rounds of golf. So we're going to parlay that into a little bit of extended vacation. So I'm excited about that. I'll be sharing pictures with you on there. Also, I've got something lined up to go to Bella Reeve in St. Louis to play golf. One of my good friends invited me to go do that. So stay tuned on that. I'm doing that, I think, in a couple weeks here. So that should be a fun one-day trip and back. So again, hope all of you out there are staying safe and healthy. My Chiefs prediction last week was wrong. Crazy how I thought they would win. I don't know, but they're a really good team. I figured they would pull it off. But if we want to have a game day prediction, I think they're going to get back on the straight and narrow. They're not going to keep losing. 4 turnovers in a game. I'm glad it all got flushed out. Hopefully they got some sort of reality check, regained their focus. And I'm excited to watch them this weekend. Hopefully, again, they get it turned around and start getting more W's than they do else. But like I said, hope all of you out there are staying safe and healthy. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great week.